Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. I know it has been so long since I have uploaded a Python video, but don't worry, I haven't run out of ideas yet. Today I'm going to show you what I think is the best, simplest and most efficient way to make a quiz, a multiple choice quiz in Python possible. If you are excited, then give this video a like and subscribe too if you haven't already. Here's how it works. Now let's get started. Alright, so first of all, we need to make two 2D lists, and if you don't know what a 2D list is, it is a list within a list. So we're gonna make two of those 2D lists, one which will contain the question and the answer, and one for options. I'm going to make a space themed quiz. You can make any themed quiz you want. So here is the question, and then after a comma we're gonna put the answer, like from the options. So the correct answer will be option B for this question. Let's make this quiz of 10 questions. And I'm gonna add just one more question. And now we close the 2D list. Now we make the options. So the first list will have A as Mercury, let's say B, which is the correct answer, so Earth, C Mars, let's say D Saturn. Now we do this for all of these 11 questions. So as you can see, for the last one I have only included 3 options instead of 4. But the code that we are going to write, the number of options do not matter as long as the correct answer is within the options. So now let's create two variables, correct and wrong, so that we can keep track of the user score, how many they get correct and how many they get wrong. A variable is a storage in memory where you can store any type of data like integer, float or strings. Now we're gonna use a for loop, which is a count control loop, so it runs for a specific number of times. For I in range, the length of questions. So if you increase or decrease the number, it will still work. Let's get a question from the questions list. So question equals questions I and then 0, because in 2D lists you need two square brackets. The first one indicates to the index of the first or second list, so like 0 index 1, this will be index 2, and then the second one is within that list, so this will be 0 and this will be 1, and then store it in the question variable. Now we print the question. Let's also number the question, so I plus 1, because in a count control loop it always starts from 0. Then print the question, and let's print the options. So the corresponding question options because we want to print options as a list. Then we ask the user for an answer, so input, enter the letter dot lower, which will convert the input and return it as lowercase. So if answer equals questions I1, so if it's B, A or C or D, then print correct, and then increment the correct variable by 1. And then else, so if it is not the correct answer, it does not match the correct answer, then print wrong. The correct answer was, and then we print this. So let's copy and paste. And then at the end we can print you got the variable correct, and oh yeah, we also need to increment the wrong variable by 1. So if it's wrong, we increment it by 1, then and wrong. So now let's test it out. So it asks the question in order, so number 1, which should be B, this is correct. So in order to B, A, oh, we forgot to change. Alright. So we switched. We had to change dog star to D. That's why I showed it wrong. Now let's test it again. B, B, A, oh wait, A, C, D, C, D. Now it's D, B. It's called evil twin. So I got 10 correct and 1 wrong. So now let's make some modifications to this code. So one thing we can do is, right now it prints the questions in order. Let's make it so that they come randomly each time, and whenever the program is executed, it's not the same order. So import random to be able to use the random functions. And then, so we need to create a random number so that we can replace it with the I, random dot random 0 to the length of questions. But we also have to subtract 1 because there are 11 questions, but the index of the last one is 9, because remember, in a list the index starts from 0, but when you get the length of the list, it's actually 11. Now we replace the I with num, so the random question, then print the question, print options, the same index, then answer, then questions, num, answer, questions, num, wrong. So now if we run the program, it prints a random question. So instead of the watery planet, it's now the radiant energy of the sun is transmitted in the form of short waves, and it still takes the correct index of the options. So the last question comes third. Oh, we got a problem. The questions are repeated. Let's fix it. So the way how I'm thinking to fix the problem is that we can create another list called done. So all the questions that have already been asked will go in here, and we still need to ask 11 questions. So num, then while, but we need to set the flag variable, so same equals true, while same equals true. Remember to use double equals to signs. So if the question is the same, and whenever the question is the same, we need to generate a new number which has to be different from the previous one. So, and then get the question. We can just copy this. Then if the question is in the done list, then same has to be true, otherwise the question is different, so same equals false. So the next time it executes, same will be false, so this statement will be not true. Then it will skip this value and go to the next part, which will be to append, which essentially means to add the question at the end of the list. So append the question in the done list so that the next time the same question is not repeated and it can be checked in the done list. And now everything else should be fine. Let me just skim read it. Let's test the program. So there's a random question, C, correct. B, B, D, scored A, A. So now it asks 11 questions and all of them are different, so none of them are repeated and they're all in a random order, and it still gets the correct options. Let's make it more interesting. So let's say if you got like more than 0 correct, then print well done. Actually, print better luck next time. Or you need to know the universe more. Then else if, so the short form of else if is elif, correct is more than the lower quotile of the questions. So if it's a decimal, then we need to round it so that it's an integer. So round length of questions divided by 4, print good job, or actually it's fine, good job. Elif correct equal is greater than half of the questions, print well done. And else, so if it's more than half, or actually we need to change the order. So if correct is greater than round length of upper quotile, so questions times by 3, divided by 4, which will get the upper quotile. Shift this to the end. Print excellent. You know the universe. And then we also need to switch these around, so divided by 2, divided by 4, print well done, print good job. So I have switched these around because I wanted to print excellent, like if you get more than like 80% or 90%, and then half something else, and then lower quotile something else. But in the other way, if you say else, it will still actually not work, because the score will always be more than a half. So you wouldn't be able to print something else if it's more than 19 or 80% or 100% even. So when you switch these around, and you also cannot do if each time to prevent the else situation, because it will check the first if statement because it goes in sequence, and then it will be greater than 0. Score will always be greater than 0, so it will not print or go to any other part, any other if statements. That's why you need to use else if and else. Now let's run the program. Now let's start by checking each of the statements. So I got 2 correct, which is below the lower quartile. It works. You need to know the universe more. So now I got between half and low quartile. Good job. And now if I try to get all of them right, so oops. And then A, and then A. So now it's above 90% to 80%. So now it says excellent. So that works. Now let's make it even more better, because right now you can enter in the input anything except the options A, B, C and D. So to prevent that, we can create another list. Let's call it available options, or op for short, and let's make it a simple list with all the options, so A, B, C or D. But for this to work, we need to have, I think, a D option. So let's say good twin, zero twin, blue twin, green twin. And now it's input and then while answer not in the available options, then print invalid and repeat this line. So now you won't be able to enter anything else except A, B, C or D. So the reason why I did this, entered a D option, it's because when this question will come up and you will enter D, it will still allow you to do so. But the options are only A, B and C. So here it is, a program which I think is the best, simplest and most efficient way to make a multiple choice quiz in Python possible, and it's only 63 lines, and these are only the questions and the options. So the main code is only 30 and 63, so 33 lines, which I think is pretty less for a quiz like this. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and hit a like. And I'll see you in the next one. See ya!